What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. Now, Bitcoin did take a bit of a tumble yesterday. We tried to have that rally. However, you could see right here that now this previous support that was holding us is now acting as resistance. But listen, guys, in all sincerity, no BS, regardless of whether or not you are a bull or a bear, whatever you think, there is something we need to pay very, very close attention to right now, specifically on the Bitcoin chart. I'm going to show you what that is today. It's something that we haven't talked about on the channel recently, but now it is time to bring this forward. And it is a very, very important indicator for Bitcoin. We need to pay attention to this. And the other thing that I want to talk about too is that we've actually seen open interest absolutely skyrocketing. In fact, this is the second highest that it has been this year. And you guys know, I've told you before, what happens when we get the interest moving this high? We usually have a very volatile shakeout. Now, if you think about it right now, most people are actually going short. So could we be anticipating a short-term short squeeze? That is something that we definitely have to talk about. And the other thing that we spoke about in yesterday's video was the DXY. Now, if we actually have a look at the DXY, we officially have broken this resistance right here. You can see we are actually breaking out. So this is basically almost the highest level that we've seen the dollar ever since December of 2016. But there could be something that we need to talk about. It may not be the fact that the dollar's actually looking really strong. There may be something else happening in the background, and I do want to talk about this because it could be sort of an illusion as to what's happening in the market right now, and I obviously have to talk about the massive, massive global news that is happening right now, not only out of Brazil, but we did have our second country finally adopt Bitcoin as legal tender. So if that sounds good to you, you guys know what to do. If you're not subscribed, definitely consider it. And you are going to want to stay to the end of today's video. Lots of great content. Very, very important. You need to understand what is happening. So with that being said, if you're not subscribed, guys, you know what to do. Let's dive in. Let's have a look. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out is that we are actually holding this downwards resistance as support, right? So even though if we go back here, even though we did technically lose this support right here, we're back down on these levels. And I do want to point out too, whereas these were uptrends, right? We were putting in an uptrend. This is actually a downtrend, just pointing that out. We are putting in lower lows, but we can see that if we actually take the bottom of these wicks right here, you can see that we are finding a little bit of support. So I have been saying for a while on this channel that I still do have a potential target of around 44,600. Although you can see right here that Bitcoin still didn't get the volume that I really was anticipating if it was a true reversal. You see all these volumes that we got right here. We got this volume right here. We did not get it right here. So I still had said that there was a possibility of Bitcoin coming down to around that $36,900 level. Maybe we're not going to go down to that level. Maybe, I'm not going to get a chance to put that trade in. I still think it's possible, but I do believe that there would be one more bounce and we could potentially come up to this level because look at how much resistance we had back here. And it even acted as this little bounce of support up in this area, right? So that still sort of is the short-term price action. If you guys want to learn how to trade, check out the tutorials popping up above, like $16,000 in bonuses below. I don't even know. There's lots of bonuses down there if you guys haven't taken advantage of it. The thing that we are looking at though, is we don't want to lose this structure right here. We don't want to lose this higher low structure. So right now, currently it is in the middle of the week. We are sitting right in the middle, right? So that could be an issue, but ultimately it actually also depends on whether or not if you're looking at it in the logarithmic chart, you can actually see that we're starting to fall below it. But if I switch it to the regular chart, well, then we haven't even touched it yet. So it really depends on how you're looking at this long-term trends. I like looking at the log chart. I feel like I get a better picture long term. And as I was telling you guys yesterday, super quick, we are still in that no man's land, right? We're just kind of bouncing around in this middle area. Like, as I told you guys, breaking below that 38,400, it's leaning towards bearish, breaking above 42,900, leaning towards bullish. But there is something even bigger that I will go over in a minute. But what I did want to talk about is the fact that we could be seeing that short squeeze. Now, stick with me, guys. The big news is coming. I just want to talk about this super quick. So you can actually see that the open interest or the number of open positions in the perpetual futures market has risen by 256,752 Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin, my friends, okay? This is the second highest in 365 days. And as you guys can see, most of these could possibly be short positions. So data shows that the funding rate or the cost of holding short perpetual positions has been considerably around the neutral to actually flipping into the negative. So you have to understand if it flips into the negative, then, this could be a burden for the short. So they may end up closing it. They'll offload their bearish bets, and well, we all know what happens. Boom, we get the short squeeze and the price goes to the moon temporarily, right? So as you can see right here, they say the sentiment funding rates and future basis premiums suggest the shorts are most confident. So a short squeeze is in fact on the table. So I did just want to bring that up. Also shout out to the Crown Trading app for pointing this out and getting my eyes to look at it. But here we go, guys. These are arguably the two most important moving averages for Bitcoin. Now, I'm doing this on the 3-day chart only because it's a lot cleaner, less candles, less mess, right? So this is the 600 daily moving average or the 200 on the 3. Same exact thing. That's this pink line right here. And this blue line represents the 200 daily moving average. Now, the first thing that you'll notice right here is that we were in fact rejected off of it, right? And we know that we need to get back above these levels in order to truly, honestly, be bullish for Bitcoin. You and I both know that. I know you guys want to hear all this hopium, but that is the reality of what we need. And that level currently is sitting at 47,355. So you need Bitcoin to get above this moving average sitting at $47,355 in order to really have that bullish momentum, or at least say that we're technically in a bull market or a bull trend, right? Now, on the flip side, we have the 600 daily moving average or the 200 on the 3-day, which is this pink line right here. Now, look at what we're doing, guys. This is obviously on the BLX, so they are a day behind, okay? But I really like the data because they have, they have pretty much the longest dating, back to July of 2010. This is very, very comprehensive data. And as you guys can see right here, now, we have wicked below it before, okay? It's not to say that we can't go below and pull back up, except you can see that we have actually already closed a red candle below it. Now, we did not close any candles below it here, right? In fact, this red candle was closed directly on the line, but we did close it right here. So let me actually just totally get rid of the blue line because I really want you to focus on this pink line, guys. Now, if you look historically, what happens every time we're above this line? You could see we end up going on a massive parabolic rally, right? But if we come over here, and we see what happens as soon as we started to fall below the 600 daily. What happened, guys? We had a few retests. We had a fake out, massive dump, massive capitulation, sideways bear market for like a year, few months, right? What happened when we got above it, right? A little bit of a fake out, but ultimately right here, we retested as support. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to go to the moon, but this essentially signaled the start of the next rally. I don't know, somebody just sent me a text message. I don't know what's going on right there. So if we come up here and we have a look, you could see that when we started to bottom out here, what happened? Well, as soon as we got under it, guys, look what happened. It acted as resistance. We closed a red candle below it. Boom, massive 50% dump, sideways bear market for a few months, right? Now, I'm not trying to freak anyone out, guys. Right here, we did close below it, fake out. Okay, so we did get back above it, right? Came back below for COVID. As soon as we bounce back above, boom, bull run, right? So I'm not saying fake outs can't happen. I'm just saying that every single time we ever fall below it for extensive periods of time, things don't get good for Bitcoin, right? So if we continue to stay, if this trend continues out like this or something, and we continue to close under here, even have a fake out, we can't get above it, the odds of Bitcoin falling lower, unfortunately, are very high. So I just want you guys to be realistic about that. But I do want you to understand that we still have, if you believe the 4-year cycle is still a thing, then we know what happens, right, during the halving. And I don't have the chart pulled up right now, but according to that data, that would put the bottom of the markets around maybe 6 to 7 months from now. So I just wanted to point that out, which means that by the end of this year, December, November, December, January, maybe of next year, you could see the absolute bottom. So you're not looking at these multiple, year-long bear markets. It may be over quicker since we've already had this 50% downtrend, right? Now, talking about the DXY, we spoke about the fact that this is breaking out to the upside. I talked about this on Twitter when we were getting close, talked about it in my video yesterday. And yeah, we are breaking. We have not hit the all-time highs, or not the all-time highs, but the highs since 2016, but we're getting there. We're getting close. So what could happen? Could we hit this level, have that fake out, and come back down as I've been talking about? It is a possibility, but something we need to consider. Now, this was what Decode Jar said in response to Plan C, who was talking about the DXY. And he says, is the dollar strong or is the euro and yen weak? This is the problem with DXY analysis. Euro and yen are printing as fast as ever where the US stopped. So the DXY goes up. So even though we're back here and we're seeing the dollar go up, we're seeing the DXY go up, we know that inflation is still running rampant in the US. And even though they're trying to combat inflation, when you have inflation at 9% or higher, let's be honest, they're probably lying about the percentage. Really, you need 10% raised hikes just to be neutral, right? You would have to go higher to actually curb the inflation. You would have to start going the other way. So really, it's like picking, less of two evils, right? If my neighbor's houses have completely collapsed, right, which could be essentially, the euro and the yen, and my house is still standing, but like my foundation is, 80% broken and my roof has leaks in it, but I'm still living in it. Yes, I have the best house in the neighborhood, but is it really a good house? You know what I'm trying to say? So that's kind of the thing to consider, because I was curious and I just Googled this morning. These are the top news stories, just came out today. Euro slides to 5-year low on Russian energy supply slowdown fears. This is just from 44 minutes ago. And this came out this morning from Nikkei Asia. Global indifference to plunging yen should alarm Tokyo. So just because the US stopped printing, and these other guys kept printing, it doesn't mean that you can honestly change everything that you've done up until this point, right? So essentially, when you have a look at really what is going on right now, I wanted to just play this super quick clip from Squawk on the Street. And it was Michael Saylor talking about 3 different types of people that are involved in the markets right now. And this is what he believes is actually happening.
There's 3 types of investors in Bitcoin. There's the traders, there's the technocrats, and there's the maximalists. The maximalists are buying the stuff to give to their grandchildren, and they just dollar cost average in, and they're all in already. So they don't control the market. The technocrats think it's the next big tech network like Google or Facebook. When they're feeling bullish on technology, they're buying. When they're feeling bearish on technology, they're selling. The traders think it's either a correlated asset or an uncorrelated asset, the risk assets, depending on their mood. Right now, they think it's correlated to risk, and so if they're selling risk, they're selling Bitcoin. It's obviously not a tech stock. It is actually the ultimate risk-off asset. In time, over the course of 4, 5, 6, 7 years, everybody figures it out. But right now, the traders and the technocrats control the market trading of Bitcoin, and it's a function of the tug of war between them and the mood in the market.
So we did see that good news, essentially that Fidelity was offering 401ks, right? And obviously, Michael Saylor jumped on that right away. Well, Anthony Scaramucci also confirmed that Skybridge will offer Bitcoin 401ks as products to their employees as well. But this is what I want to talk about. And this is why, unfortunately, the majority of the average people out there, the retail traders, the regular everyday Joes, people like you and me, most of them don't make it. This right here is actually from Amish Crypto. This is new weekly YouTube subscribers for some of the major YouTube channels. Unfortunately, I guess I'm not popular enough to get included on the list, but we do have guys like Benjamin Cohen, BitBoy, Data Dash, Altcoin Daily, Coin Bureau. I'm sure you're very familiar with a lot of these guys. And you can see right here, January, right basically into the end of May, we had this massive, and I'll be honest, I saw a lot of viewers, a lot of subscribers as well. And then right here, it fell off. They got excited again as the price started pumping, and now they are at their lowest levels. In fact, some channels are actually losing subscribers, okay? Which is saying that the retail investor, the average investor, has lost interest. And I feel really bad for those people. If you're watching this video right now, you are truly going to be the one that is going to reap the benefits in the next bull run. It's going to happen. And, if we do have, let's say, a bear trend for 6 to 7 months, that essentially puts us at a year from now, let's say, I wish I had the chart pulled up. I'll pull it up next time. Just trust me, guys. Trust me. I've been in this for 6 years now. I've watched the charts. A year from now essentially would put us at where I would believe us to be breaking even if we were back down into the bear market. And breaking even, I mean level with the 70,000 all-time high. So if we do go into a bear market, you have a year. 6 months downtrend, 6 to 7 months bottom from here, 6 months trending back up, breaking even right at the $70,000 level, so you'd have a year essentially to accumulate Bitcoin under 70,000. And then the next 6 months after that, you'd be seeing that 180,000, 200,000, maybe even $300,000 Bitcoin. And who even knows, if they approve the ETF, and that could be something that they're waiting for, maybe that's their game. Maybe they want to get that bear market. Maybe they want to push the price back down to 24. You're already boring retail. Look, they're not buying. They're leaving. They're not watching videos. Okay. But meanwhile, in the background, we're seeing a lot of evidence that others are still buying. Institutions. You don't believe me? Look at this. Purpose Bitcoin ETF added 1.1K Bitcoin, 1.1 thousand Bitcoin. Okay. As data hints, investors want to buy the dip. The world's first Bitcoin spot price exchange traded fund is buying Bitcoin after months of selling, despite fears that Bitcoin is not yet done with the sell-off. An about turn at Purpose hints at increasing institutional demand. The move coincides with figures from statistics from Sentiment showing that interest in buying the dip on Bitcoin and even some altcoins is increasing institutionally. They go on to say the S&P 500 correlation is not working in favor of the cryptocurrency sector, and crowd fear will play a large part in the two markets breaking apart from each other. So like Michael Saylor had said in the previous video, you got the maxis, they're buying. Even if you're not a maxi, you know what I mean? Like I dollar cost average Bitcoin. I highly recommend you dollar cost average Bitcoin. That I can't legally say that's financial advice, but I mean, really statistically, anybody, even if you bought at the all-time high and you held for 3.5 years, you always made a 3.5x return. So come on, asymmetrical here, right? So that's essentially that, guys. But this was the big news of the day. Central Africa, but you get what I'm trying to say before. This is really big news. But do you understand, guys? These people that are leaving, that are not interested, that don't care anymore, they're the ones that are going to come back again when Bitcoin's back up to 50,000, 60,000, 70,000, putting in all-time highs. Maybe they even panic sold their Bitcoin. Sorry, guys, you can't pick and choose. Everybody wants to make fast money around here. The first 2 years that I was in crypto, I lost money. I lost more money than I invested. It was only during the third year when I started to understand and trade and look at the charts and realize, how to take profits and things like that I actually start to make more profit. And now, yes, I'm doing very well. Not to brag. I don't brag. I'm not like, well, whatever. I was going to make a comment about other people in the space who like to brag about how well they've done, but I've done well, my friends. And it's because I went through the bear. I learned and I didn't walk away. Okay. So, these people can do what they want essentially, but I totally lost track of what I was talking about here. It got a little emotional. So Central African Republic has adopted Bitcoin as legal tender. This is official now. A statement from the president's office on Wednesday confirms the passage and signing of the necessary legislation. The legislation established a legal and regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies and made Bitcoin legal tender alongside the existing CFA franc. So according to the finance minister, there's a common narrative that sub-Sahara African countries are often one step behind when it comes to adopting new technology. This time, we can actually say that our country is one step ahead. The Central African Republic has a population of about 4.83 million, around of which 11% of them have access to the internet. Now, I have heard very mixed things about the CAR, the car, we can call it. I don't know, but I am saying that, like I posted on Twitter, I said, hey, 2 countries down, 195 more to go. The dominoes are aligning. And, we know how these things make waves. And also, just to point out, in Brazil, Bitcoin is on the verge of gaining adoption. The country's Senate has approved a bill geared towards legalizing cryptocurrencies. Also, the proposal aims to create regulatory infrastructure for the digital asset industry. The law could receive full approval before the end of this year. And I also just want to end on this news right here. A Bitcoin ATM was installed on April 26th in the Senate building in Mexico City with the support of multiple legislators. This is the country's 14th cryptocurrency ATM. Mexican senator and outspoken crypto enthusiast Indira Kempis posted a picture on Twitter. So there you guys go. So now Mexico City has an ATM in the Senate building. So yeah, guys, this is how it happens. This is what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's about it. I thought I had a chart here to go over. But yeah, ultimately, guys, that's basically, you know, what I said earlier is what the same thing that I've been saying for a while. We haven't seen the volume. I'm still looking at this level down here to touch. We could be doing a reversal. This could be the reversal we waited for. Still have that price target of around 44,600. But I am saying after that, be very, 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 very careful. And also just be careful in general, because, you know, we have fallen below this 600 daily. So just saying, guys, historically, when we fall below this, we tend to fall hard. So I just want you guys to be prepared, but, you know, don't be like these guys over here that are losing interest, because remember, it's the ones that stick around during the hard times, that dollar cost average, that learn, that build, that educate themselves, that reap the benefits, that, you know, really end up making all the money. And then everybody goes, oh, how'd you do it? And it's like, well, you know, I actually stuck around, paid attention, did my homework and dollar cost average while you guys gave up because, oh, the price crashed, right? So that's it for me today, guys. Friendly reminder, 8 days left if you want to get that bonus over on MEXC Global. There are literally $16,000 worth of bonuses below. And honestly, if you want, you can literally just make a new account, use the link below. You can get a bonus with a different email. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. I would take advantage of that. It's not, you know, it's definitely hard trying to make money in especially these type of sideways choppy markets, but there are opportunities for staking, and, you know, there's APY percentages. Some of them offer back. You can also get 10% discounts if you use the code. Lots of stuff. I highly recommend you guys go down below, check out those links in the description. You do help support the channel, but guys, also, if you use the links, you get the bonuses that otherwise you wouldn't be able to get, right? So thanks you again for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I do this every single day. I'm freaking starving. I need to go eat something. I haven't eaten all morning, and I was up at like 4 o'clock pacing the floors, just thinking about life, you know, just kind of thinking about like this crazy world that we're in right now. So I need to go get myself some lunch. But you guys are awesome. I love you. Thank you for coming back to the channel. And remember, if you do want to learn how to trade responsibly and profitably, check these videos popping out right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.